I'm James. What's your name?
Mrs. Gosdeck.
May I ask your age, if that's okay?
Sure, I'm 68.
Are you
Introduce yourself.
Oh,
I am married, yes.
There's enough information.
Okay, where were you born?
How do you find Ariel?
I was born in Connecticut. Actually born in the Hartford Hospital, Hartford, Connecticut.
Is it 10? No. Is it?
Are you the first generation to be born in the U.S.? If not, do you know who was?
On my mother's side, it was my grandmother that was the first one born. On my father's side, well, I think we go back to someone in the family signed the Declaration of Independence. So not, it goes back like, I don't know who was first.
Do you remember August 6th or August 9th of 1945?
No, I was born in 1950, so I was not born yet.
Okay, here.
Which one is raised?
What do you remember of November 2nd, 1963 when JFK was assassinated?
Well, I was actually in middle school, and I remember school had gotten out, and we're walking down the street of the school, and it's like all of a sudden there's like this buzz, and it's like, what's going on? Something just happened. And finally somebody said, the president's been shot. It's like, oh my gosh, I mean, somebody shot the president of the United States? And we were shocked. We were, well, I mean, is he alive? Is he dead? And nobody knew. And so I remember getting like further down the street and people were crying. And it's like, wow, I mean, this is real. This really happened. And of course, later as I got home and, you know, I turned on the TV, you realize that he actually had been killed. That,
How many people?
you know, and there were pictures of the president and Jacqueline, you know, riding in their car because they were in Dallas and all that, and it was a big deal. I mean, everybody, you know, Democrat or Republican, everybody seemed to love the Kennedy family. They were called Camelot. They're both young. He was one of the youngest presidents, attractive, and it was like, I don't know, kind of this fairy tale of Kennedy. Not so much the Kennedy family, I mean, they were a big political family, but John F. Kennedy and Jacqueline were, you know, kind of a special couple, and even if you weren't Democrat, you still saw them as special. And so to think that someone would actually shoot him was horrifying. I mean, you know, President of the United States has actually been shot. And, you know, they had the funeral, and he had 2 little children. And so to see those, you know, little kids, just, it was heartbreaking.
During the Vietnam War, do you think America had lost trust in the federal government? And if so, by how much?
During Vietnam, well, with Vietnam, it's like that was, you know, in Vietnam, which was a long ways away, nobody really knew much about Vietnam, and it was the whole, hippie generation, and, you know, people were a little bit more self-consumed, I think. And so it's like, well, why are we going all this ways away to fight a war? And I mean, the people that, you know, there was a draft then, so I mean, guys were getting drafted, and a lot of them didn't want to go. It's like, why should I go, you know, fight this war for people I don't know, don't care about, and, you know, the government saying, well, yeah, you have to do it to fight communism. But of course, Americans don't know much about communism, really. We've never lived in any kind of communist state. So that whole generation that would have been drafted was very, a lot of protests and a lot of trying to get out of the draft. Guys would go to Canada, or they'd try to get some doctor to say, you know, they were physically unable. So, and the Vietnam War lasted a long time. I mean, I think it started when I was in junior high, but I mean, I was married and it was still going on. So it lasted a long time, and for whatever reasons, I mean, like now, you know, you see a war, and I mean, you know, you can watch it live, you know, there's soldiers out there, and that wasn't the case back then. So you got a lot of, you know, the press saying what was happening. I don't know if they were totally honest with what was happening, but it just seemed like you heard a lot of bad things. And I know for my generation, they were, you know, because I was married by the time they were still going on, so it was guys I knew that were getting drafted. And, you know, it was like, I guess they distrusted the government in the sense of, why are you making me do this, because I don't want to do it. I don't care about these people. And apparently the government didn't present their case in a way that would make you think you should go. For the majority, I mean, of course there were some that thought, well, yeah, we do want to fight against communism and all that. But, yeah, there was definitely anti-government feeling that, you know, why are you having us do this? We don't care. Which kind of says something bad about our generation, too.
Did the public ever win back any trust with the government?
Well, I mean, shortly after that was the whole Nixon-Watergate thing. That definitely, we lost a lot of trust in the government at that time. Politicians were crooked, which everybody kind of knew, but it's like, oh man, you know, they're crooked, they're in it for themselves. So that definitely, between Vietnam and Nixon, I would say, people lost a lot of faith in the government. Did it ever come back? Yeah, I think it was repaired to some degree. You know, especially like as different presidents came in. I think Reagan was a great president, and I don't know how much of this you want me to keep saying, but you know, Reagan helped the economy was doing well. The whole Cold War with Russia, you know, he brought down helped to make the Berlin Wall come down. So I think people began to build trust back in the government at that point.
How do you think the world's perception of the United States changed on July 20th, 1969 when they put the first man on the moon?
Oh, that was quite exciting and thrilling. Yeah, I think it kind of showed America as being, you know, first in line, or the head of being able to, you know, be able to do that. So we were like head and shoulders above everybody else, especially Russia. They were kind of the next one. But, you know, we got to the moon first, so that was a definite triumph and a definite big plus for America.
Just
Yeah, please.
How do you think the world looked at the U.S. following Nixon's resignation on August 8th, 1974, in response to the Watergate scandal?
Yeah, like I said, that was definitely, we lost a lot of trust in the government at that point. That, like I said, politicians are just crooked, you can't trust them. And like, I mean, Nixon had won in a landslide. You know, it's like he didn't really need to go in and, you know, try to burglarize Watergate and get whatever information the Democrat Party had. So, in a way, it's like, it was unnecessary, I think. But, you know, he did it and then he covered it up, and that was a major big problem. So, yeah, that was definitely a loss of trust in the government. Big point.
Hey, how do you think our nation changed on November 9th, 1989, when the Berlin Wall was finally taken down?
Well, that was a very big positive, very positive feeling, very pleased, very happy. It's like a lot of people never really thought that would ever happen. So, you know, when Reagan said to Gorbachev, you know, take that wall down, it's like, he did. And it's like, wow, that was definitely a big plus for America, big plus for Reagan. Not that it was all him, but, you know, definitely that built a lot more enthusiasm for our government back that, you know, we can do good things for the world.
And what do you remember about September 11th, 2001, when the country experienced the terrorist attack on the Pentagon and World Trade Center, also known as 9/11?
That was shocking. It's like, I remember I was actually on my way to work, and my husband texted me, and I thought, that's odd that he would text me on my way to work, so I pulled over and read it, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, so how is this possible? I mean, who in the world would attack America, the strongest nation in the world? It was, you couldn't even believe it. And like at first, you know, the first plane hit the Trade Center, and it's like, well, what happened? Did he have a heart attack, or how could a pilot do that? Of course, when the second one hit, it's like, no, this is deliberate. And then, of course, when the whole towers came down, I mean, horrifying. And I think at that point, it's like, okay, it's not a country that attacked us. It's an ideology, you know, that the fanatical, you know, Islamics are saying, we hate America and we want to destroy you, and we're doing this to show you that we have power. So I think that it totally changed America's perhaps naivety that, I mean, nobody's going to hurt us. We're strong, you know, we're the most powerful nation on earth, and yet somebody did hurt us. And so I mean, the whole idea of a terrorist, I mean, that word was not in a vocabulary until that point. And to think that someone could come and do that kind of terrorist attack here in our country. And then it's like, so who do you go back and, you know, try to fight? It's like, well, who are they? And it's not like it's a country where you can go, you know, invade the country. It's like, who are they? Where are they? And how can we retaliate? But definitely, I think it showed us that we were vulnerable. America never felt vulnerable before that. And so now the whole idea that there are terrorists out there that want to hurt us was devastating, I think, to like our psyche. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, we're not invincible, which we thought we were. And now we realize, no, we're not. So it definitely changed the, well, changed the world. I mean, because terrorism, now you see terrorism everywhere all the time, and you didn't before. America didn't see it.
Finally, as it said, every American citizen has a dream, be it wealth, happiness, or a better life for their children. What was your dream, and do you think you achieved it?
Well, I would say that the American dream is, you know, to get an education, to be able to have your choice of, you know, what kind of job do you want? Do you want to be a teacher, an accountant, a car mechanic, a doctor? What do you want to be? And you can do it. You know, to work hard, save your money, buy a house, have a family, and basically live in peace in the sense that, you know, you can raise your family and enjoy life, have enough money to pay your bills and all that kind of thing. So I guess for me, you know, I wanted that too, to be able to do something that I enjoyed. I wanted to get married, I wanted to have a family. Love being with kids, so I mean, that was definitely part of my desire, which is I did. I got married. I have 3 wonderful daughters and 9 wonderful grandchildren. And so also after we were married, my husband and I grew up going to church, but never, you know, thought about it that much, I guess. But after we were married for a while, realized we needed Jesus in our life and wanted to be able to live a life pleasing to Him. So that is a big part of my dream, you know, to be able to live a life that's pleasing to the Lord, that is, you know, reaching out to the world with His message, and I've been able to do that. We've done some missionary work, and so it's been very fulfilling, and now it's exciting to, you know, be able to see our daughters, son-in-laws, grandchildren, you know, continue to also know the Lord and, you know, live lives that are pleasing and good people. So, yeah, so I'd say achieved it.
Well, that's it. I'd like to thank you again for letting us interview.
Oh, well,
Thank you for your time.
Alrighty. Good luck to both of you.